It's hot. Angel, I see you. I see you as you are coming in. Yes, we are live team. There's not gonna be any replay team. Yes. How are you? How's the weather on your side? Johannesburg is killing us here. The weather is confused. The weather is so confused. So we're a little bit late, so I'm going to pull my slides up so we can start with this and get going. As you are coming in, let me know where you are watching from, where you are at. Are you excited? What are you excited about with this masterclass? Let me know in the comments. Okay, great. You can hear me now. Fantastic. Anybody else can? Everybody else can hear me. Let me know. All right, we are pulling the slides up. Let me know if you can see them. Let me quickly check. Okay. Can you guys? All right, Illinois is in the building. Yeah. Can you guys see the slides? Let me know if you can see the slides. Kanya, I see you. Hashtag live. Yes. Let me know. Can you guys see the slides as we are going to jump straight into it? Okay. Everybody, okay, so let's get started and I'm not about wasting time. So this is your a masterclass to grow and scale any business, and you are going to have to become an authority to grow and scale your business. So on today's masterclass, I'm going to teach you how you can do that in the next 90 days so that your authority and your expertise can be recognized in your sphere. All right. So let's get right into it. This is what we're going to cover in this masterclass. What is a brand? The heart of branding. Why you should brand yourself. Before the brand, the three keys to the attraction dial. Why you should avoid being just an influencer. How you coin your expertise. How you take out your doctor bag, and how you borrow the authority. And I'm going to be taking some Q&A later on, so you want to stick around for that. So now, this is for you if you are a consultant, a coach, an author, a mentor, a course creator, a content creator, an influencer, or an online educator. If you're a freelancer or a service-based entrepreneur who would like to leverage personal branding to build your business, this is for you. So a lot of people in the group are new, so I'm going to quickly introduce myself. I am Tanya. I'm a business coach and marketing strategist who specializes in assisting experts, coaches, entrepreneurs to create and sell high ticket courses, program, and services. If you don't know what is high ticket is highly priced services or products or courses. So if you want to sell anything above $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 packages. This is what I actually assist you with. Now, a little bit about my story so that you can understand where this whole situation started from. So I started out online as the girl who did the job for a measly pay. I would create courses, funnels, write copy, and do almost everything for almost no pay. Like, I didn't really like charging and I didn't know how to charge my worth. This was until a client told me that I could make more money doing it for myself and I had to raise my prices. It can't get any worse than this, that somebody that is paying you to do something for them, they tell you that you have to raise your prices, and instead of doing it for them, you could do it for yourself, because I was creating what is known as white label courses, where people will buy courses that I created and sell it as their own. So I actually listened, and Anna easily make a substantial amount of money without taking on a multitude of clients. I avoid taking on too many clients because I do have anxieties. So I really don't like working with a lot of people. This is, of course, because I branded myself, which allowed me to raise my prices from $150 for a sales letter. I literally used to charge this for a sales letter to $1,000 for a sales letter, for example, today. I went from charging $50 for a coaching session to a minimum of $1,000 for a coaching package. And this is only for my entry level program, and it goes up from there. This has literally changed my life, and I think it will change yours as well. So if you have a similar story like mine, trust me, it's very possible. So today, I get sought out by big players in the online business space to fix their businesses, collaborate, and teach their own audiences. And this sometimes blows my mind because I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Me? Just little old me? But it is possible. It's really possible. After this masterclass, you will also be able to do the same. I am the girl who didn't like speaking in class because she has a stutter and a lisp. You'll notice I speak slowly. This is the reason why, because if I start speaking too fast, I will trip over my words. I'm an introvert, and I was still able to build a business and establish myself as an authority online. So today I'm reverse engineering what I have done so you can actually do it on your own a lot faster than I did. Now, quick announcements. You want to switch off any distraction, put your phone on silent, pick a notebook and pen to take notes. There will be no replay, so pay attention, because any other replay you want, you're actually going to have to pay for it. So for those that are live, this is a treat. I wanted to do it this way because that means that you are showing up for yourself, and that means I'm also showing up for you. Lastly, branding is only one part of the equation to grow your business. If you rely solely on it, it may just take a little while longer to do this. But it's possible to do it, but it you just take longer to get clients. And if you would like to grow faster, you are going to have to implement other things. It's something that I call the Army Strong approach that I teach my personal clients, where there's a lot more to growing your business. Branding is only the front of an approaching army. The flanks and the rear of your army still need to be protected, needs to be handled. So today you are learning about the front end of your army. But if you want to have an effective machine in terms of a business, you want to have your flanks and your rear covered. And if you would like to do that, you can book a consultation. We will leave the link down below in the comments so that you are able to book a consultation and see how we can help you in that regard. Now, let's jump into this. Let me sip a bit of water. Why you should become an authority? Do you really need to be an authority to make money online? No. I was making money online even without being an authority, without having a brand. So, yes, you don't need a brand to make money online. But here's the caveat: you are limited in the amount of money you can charge clients because they don't really know you. They don't really know if you are capable of delivering. You have no brand that speaks for you. So, therefore, what you can charge is really, really limited. The next thing is why you should consider this. Having an authoritative brand entails being known for something as an expert and a thought leader in your industry. Working with you becomes a privilege, and people pre-sell themselves by the time they reach out to you. So it means simply that you don't have to do a lot of the hard lifting when it comes to selling people, because people are pre-selling themselves. People are like, oh my gosh, I want to work with Tanya. Oh my gosh, I want to work with Kanye. I want to work with Angel. And this is it, because I have seen what they are doing. I know what they do. I know that they are capable of of delivering. So I want to work with them. So they pre-sell themselves already on who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. So by the time they are starting to speak to you for the rest of the sales process, they've run the 9 yards. You're just running 1 yard to finish the race. So the one thing also with becoming an authority is that you become the Chanel of your field. You are no longer just the Zara bag that everybody can access. You now a Chanel bag. And as a Chanel bag, it is not only it is luxury, it is a privilege. It is not easy to get. So obviously, people are willing to pay 10 times more to work with you. Now, another thing is when you become an authority in any industry, it helps with brand awareness. What people say about you. The more people know you, they trust you, they like you, they will pay you. This is basically branding at play. How many times have you gone into the store and maybe bought a Gucci perfume without thinking too hard about it because you already knew about it? Or you went into the store and picked a Coca-Cola bottle because you already know the brand and you know how it tastes. So this is why it is always a great idea to invest in building your brand. So if you have any ambition to grow exponentially and grow your income and grow your influence, well, this is why you do it. You invest in branding, and this is how you go about it. So now we hear this word a lot. What is a brand? So a brand essentially is a feature that identifies a product or service as different from competitors. I teach people how to do course creation. I teach people how to sell. But there are a lot of people doing it as well. But there are certain features that identifies me to you, that identifies me to you, so that you are able to pick me as a coach, for example. It's in the same way, let's say a Louis Vuitton bag. There are certain features that identify a Louis Vuitton bag from a Zara bag, for example, or for an H&M bag, for example. Those features that makes it different is usually what helps with selling in the long run. Now, the heart of branding. Branding is the exertion of influence on how people perceive you, your brand, your product, and services. So, the great thing and the good news in this entire thing is that you can influence how you are perceived by the people that you want to buy from them. Do you want to be perceived as a warm brand, a friendly brand? What do you want to be perceived as? You have the power to influence how people actually interact with your brand and what they think of you. Now, let's go back into this. Why is it even important? Branding drives visibility. When you operate in an industry and you have no visibility, you feel like you're the industry best kept secret. You could compete with the best known in your industry, and maybe you are actually better than them. You probably know a lot more than them, but no one knows that you exist. This is why we work at getting visible and crafting an authority brand so that people that we want to work with will know, like, we exist. Hello, I'm here. But you don't want to be like, hello, I'm here. I'm here. Do you see me? Hi. Hi. Yeah, I am. You should work with me. You don't want to be like this. You want to start attracting people to work with you. You want people to find you and approach you to work with you. It's kind of like the dating game, yeah. It's kind of like when you are dating. It's kind of different when somebody is approaching you and you are shooting your shot. There's a lot of vulnerability when you are shooting your shot and when somebody is approaching you, because at the end of the day, now you have attracted the client, you have attracted the prospect, and now they're like, oh my gosh, I want to work with this person. But now you get to decide, do I go with it or not? So it's kind of like that. I love doing the dating analogy when I give business coaching, because ironically business is so similar to dating. Now, there's something you need to keep in mind. Any business you create will have three brands: your personal brand, your business brand, your product brand. One thing you will also notice that a lot of times it's either your personal brand will drive your business brand, or your product brand will drive your business brand. An example a great example of this is Rihanna. Rihanna, when she created Fenty Beauty, when you look at it, the majority of the traffic that went into the business came from a personal brand, from her supporters that had always supported the music. Now, granted, Rihanna had a great product that she was launching. I mean, she was the first brand to launch a number of shades that it was very inclusive for everybody. But at the end of the day, if any company could have done that, but if it was a relatively unknown company, it probably would not have made the splash that it did in the market the way it was with Fenty Beauty. Because at the end of the day, people bought because they love and support Rihanna, then eventually kept buying because the product is just good. So a lot of times it's either you have to work on your personal brand to drive the traffic into your business. You see this with Kylie Jenner. You have seen this with Kim Kardashian. You have seen this with Rihanna and a number of other celebrities or renowned people, influential people. Look at on TV, for example, with the Oprah network. A lot of people would or started watching the programs on the own network because of Oprah, because they had familiarized themselves with Oprah and they loved Oprah. So by the time she had stopped doing a show, everybody went and started supporting a program. Is this making sense? Anybody so far? Is that landing? So at the end of the day, you want to ensure that you identify what is the brand that you are going to drive into your business. Because either way, these principles will apply. But as a personal brand, if you build your personal brand, one of the advantages of this is that you can leverage your personal brand to drive any business. So Rihanna has done that with Fenty Savage, the Savage line, I believe. She has done it with Fenty Skin. Likewise with Kylie. You see this with Kim. She's done Skims, she's done KKW Beauty, and she has a number of things that she does. You can leverage your personal brand to drive any business. So this is why it's often very important to work on building this particular brand. Now, before the brand, it is important that we understand what happens before. Because if we have to craft a knockout brand, we have some groundwork to cover. We want to understand our audience. I know if you've been around here a while and you're familiar with my content, I think it's repetitive, but I have to keep saying it. We want to start with the end in mind. Before we craft a brand that stands out, we want to know what will we be offering? What services are we offering? Are we offering A, where we teach people, for example, let's say for myself, where I coach people on course creation, I coach people on selling high ticket program, or are we going to offer services? Because as much as I still offer services, you will realize that my personal brand is more garnered around the coaching space. So I am intentional because this is what I am driving the most. Now, you also want to be clear on whom you will be serving. You are not going to be for everybody, and you cannot be for everybody. It is impossible. Just like I can like green tea and you like chai tea and I don't like chai tea, it's the same thing. We cannot all love the same tea. So, in the same way, you cannot be for everybody. You have to niche down to eventually expand. You have to pick a group of people within a target market that will eventually be your audience. This is important. So we have the market, which will often fall within the wealth, health, and relationship sector. And let's say, for example, let's go with the health. I think the health is a lot quicker to explain. So maybe within the health sector, you have fitness, you have nutrition, you have wellness. So you are probably, let's say, within nutrition, and that is a target market. So so far we have the bigger market, which is health. Then we have the target market, which is the health market. And now we'll have a niche, which will probably, let's say, you help people with keto diets, for example. I'm just putting it off my head. Keto diet. So now you have niched down. So you maybe help women in their 30s to 40s that are looking to start with the keto diet. Now we have a niche. Now we know who are the sub market we are trying to serve. So this is very, very important. So we go from broad to narrower, because that is how we are able to build influence quickly. Now, when you have done this exercise, you want to understand, where are they now? Where are my ideal clients now? Like, are they struggling with eating? Are they binge eaters, for example? I'm still going off with the same example. Are they binge eaters? Do they hate the yo-yo diets? Do they hate not having to eat some particular type of foods? So you want to understand where they are now, what are they struggling with now, and where do they want to be? So do they want to be healthy without maybe having to restrict what they're eating? You want to understand what is their journey. So you understand where is point A. Now you want to understand where is point B. And that bridge from point A to point B, you are going to provide it. This is how you grow your authority. This is how you grow your brand is because you have niched down, you understand your audience, and now you're able to provide the bridge that they need to get to the destination. This is very, very important, and I cannot stress this enough. If you cannot define the problems you solve, who you target, you are unlikely to craft an authoritative brand online. This is point blank the truth. I am not going to lie to you that you can do this by just choosing what you want to choose, just doing, trying to serve everybody. If you cannot do this, you will not be able to craft an authoritative brand. Your audience needs to be able to identify what you can do for them. They have to. When audiences and followers can clearly identify what it is you can help them with, it will sway them to take you as an authority and then now take you seriously because they feel that you understand, that you read their mind, and that you know what you're talking about because you are covering all your bases. So, this first part is very, very important if you plan on growing your authority and growing your brand. Branding is essentially just about attraction marketing. We are drawing our prospects into our universe, and this requires us to understand them and understand what are the attraction factors that will bring them to us. So I'm going to cover in the next slide, I'm covering the three keys to the attraction factors. So far, this this is what I have seen to work for everybody. Any brand that you admire, that you like, you will notice that these three keys are in place. Clarity. When your messaging is clear to your audience, it will attract an invested group of people. You want to be clear on how you help them, what it is that you help them with. Where are they, where they want to be. That clarity in your messaging when you are trying to speak to them is going to draw them to you. You want to be clear on who you are for because it will attract the right group of people. A lot of times when coaches, especially consultants, struggle with making sales, a lot of times it's because the audience that they have attracted is not the audience that they need to have. So a lot of times it's a lack of clarity in the message that ends up hurting their sales, their course sales, their program sales. The other factor that you want to take into account is emotional investment. A lot of times, what I've noticed, people want to be lenient. They want to be sweet, I guess. I put this between hate quotes. They want to be molded into what everybody says and agree with. Unfortunately, if you want to grow an authoritative brand, you're going to have to create an opinion, actually state your opinion and showcase your opinion because people at the end of the day are looking for leaders. They are not looking for followers. So you don't want to brand yourself as a follower of the industry. You want to state, okay, this is why what people are saying, but I feel that ABCD is the way. You want to have an opinion. You want to be able to declare your opinion. Because when you declare and you showcase your actual views and thoughts, you will attract people that share similar thoughts and you will repel those who don't. This is why we have haters and this is why you have super fans in our communities or even in our friends. Because some people will not like you because they don't like your actual what you think about your morals or whatever that you abide by because you have stated them. So the emotional investment, the way you garner emotional investment from your audience is by stating your views, by showcasing your thoughts, by being vocal about what you believe in. And the third key to the attraction factor is credibility. This, of course, will be how well you communicate your knowledge, experience, competence in your message. Are you trying to be a lily in the wall, or are you trying to be a bouquet of roses in a vase on a table? Because when you are trying to be the lily in the wall, you don't want to be too loud. You don't want for people to notice you. I've been the lily in the wall, so I can understand that. So you want people you want to agree with people because you don't want people disagreeing with you. However, if you want to create credibility, you want to communicate your knowledge in an authoritative manner, even if it stands out from the crowd. Another thing, yeah, this is something I see a lot of times with coaches, and I had to touch on this. A lot of coaches fall into this, I think, because the industry. Hi, Sandra. I see you. Hello, Momo. See you, Len. Yes, Queen. That's when you know. Yes. Cape Town is in the house. I see you, Len. Yes. Cape Town is actually my hometown, yeah? It's my hometown. And right now, Johannesburg is behaving like Cape Town is the weather. I don't understand. I don't understand this weather. I don't understand. Yes, Kanya, without niching, it means we aim at serving everyone, which results to serving no one really. Yes. Hi, Maylene. So, the influencer trap. After this masterclass, let me not see y'all be falling into this trap again. I fell into this trap early on, so I'm actually going to avoid you this. Remember, when you're a business, your purpose is to capitalize on your expertise as a business. So you are an expert, you are a doctor. Your role is to diagnose and speak on symptoms of the ailments of your prospects so they can recognize the gravity of the illness. You do not share content. I don't want to see you sharing content on your skincare. I don't want to see you sharing just posting regular, reposting all these quotes. It's cute. Yes, quotes are cute, but it does not move the business for the needle for your business. You want to use your expertise to make money. So you want to speak to what your people are suffering from. For example, I speak to coaches, I speak to consultants. I speak to a lot of the content that you will find me speaking about is how do you generate lead? Why you need to generate lead? Why do you need to concentrate on lead generation? Why do you need to concentrate on sales? Why do you master sales? Why is it important? Why it's the only thing you should be concentrating on? Why you should be focusing on income generating activities. I speak to the ailments that my people are facing because when I'm speaking to it, they recognize themselves in it. And this is how I'm able to establish myself as an authority. I avoid sharing content just for the sake of sharing content. Every content piece that you share should have an objective. It should be to move the person from, oh my gosh, I was unaware of this problem, to now I'm aware of this problem. I need a solution to this problem. And oh my gosh, Momo, Len, Sandra, is the person that can solve this problem for me. Let me get in touch. You want to move people from the place where they're like, I'm not too sure what I need to do. I'm not even aware that I should be doing that. Oh my gosh, I need to do this. And this is the solution that I need. And this is the person that can provide the solution. So coaching consulting courses are often a big ask for your clients, for your prospects. So it requires them to acquire information before making a decision. You want to be the source of the information. So when you are creating your content, you do so by creating a map. Your map should include people that would be unaware and that will first stumble onto you, to people that are aware of the problem that they are facing, but they don't know where to go from there, to people that are aware of the problem and are looking for a solution so that they can move in that direction with you. So you create a map when you create content. Influencers are all about how to content. Whereas as a coach consultant, you are a lot higher with the content that you create. So instead of focusing on how to content, you want to focus on poking at the problem that they are facing. You want to focus on helping them figure out what they need to do to move towards a solution. So you kind of like poking the bear. Yes. Can you see this now? Yes. Can you see this now? This is your problem. No, you're not taking action is actually hurting your business. No, you're not taking action in relationship coaching is actually hurting your future relationship. No, you're not taking career coaching is actually hurting the way you want to move with your career. You want to be poking at the bear in their life. Because one thing is, a lot of times, people lack buying, they hate being sold to. But they want to feel that they are in power and they are making the decision for themselves. This is why sometimes sales gets a bad rap, because people feel like selling is usually trying to force people in a situation that they don't want to be in. Whereas selling is an act of service. So how do you serve them? If you want to get your prospect into a pre-sale framework where they have sold themselves already. You want them to pre-sell themselves into buying, and they are only getting on a call with you because they are ready to buy. They are solution driven at that point. So the way you do that is by creating content that pokes at the bear in their life. All right, so no question right now. If you have a question, drop it in the comment. Now, we have how you hone your expertise, because this is important. Not only we've understood that we need to brand ourselves, we need to understand our audience, we need to niche down and avoid the influencer trap and attract people by being clear, by drawing emotional investment from them and building our credibility. But one of the other things that you need to do this, you need to code your expertise. And I call this the match statement. Kind of like matchmaking. This is how you match with your prospects. You want to be clear with your match statement. Your match statement is practically your elevator speech. If we met in an elevator and you practically had 30 seconds to tell me what you do to spark my interest, so I would want to work with you, what would you say? You don't have 2 minutes to explain to me that this is what I do. I work with people that are this and that. This is where they are. You don't have time to tell your whole life story. You don't have that time. You have 15 to 30 seconds to tell me. So This is what you do. The key to your match statement is to approach it from your prospect point of view. What would they want to hear to spark their interest? And this is a formula that I use and that I've taught a number of coaches and consultants. And trust me, it drives interest quickly for people to want to know what you do. So the formula is I assist, I help, ICA. You want to be clear with your ICA. I assist coaches, I assist consultants, I assist experts with the dream outcome. What is the dream outcome? For me, is to sell high ticket program courses and services. That's the dream outcome. My clients, my ideal client, that no longer wants to play in the low ticket, in the low paying um, pool. They want to start earning more, and making a bigger of an impact. So these are my clients. Now, without, what is the greatest obstacle to reaching the outcome? What would be the greatest obstacle? For me, people are often afraid that they will launch and nobody will buy. So for me, it's without the crickets in the market. In the time frame, like let's say for online, my course creation accelerator, that will be 8 weeks in 8 weeks. So you see how I've crafted that. So you want to be clear on your ICA. What is the dream outcome? What are they looking for? So if, let's say, I'm going to give another example, relationship. This is really, I think your relationship usually kind of help people understand better. So I assist women in the 30s to find a good man without being on all these dating apps in 90 days. Now, guys, as a single woman, yeah, I'll be like, oh, so I don't have to be swiping right, left anymore. So in 90 days, I'll find the man of my dreams. I'm signing up. So you want to spark your prospect's interest because you want to speak to the deepest desires. Is that landing? Is everybody understanding that part? Yes, Momo, it is time to clean up that Twitter feed. Yes. Yes, Sandra, influencer tribe. You saw me coming for you there, yeah? We are saying goodbye to the influencer tribe. We are saying goodbye to that. So you want, one of the exercises that you want to do today is to craft a match statement. This is very important if you want to develop an authoritative brand online and you want to stand out in the next 90 days. Now, you want to take out your doctor bag. In the consulting, coaching, and course creation space, a lot of times we make use of what is known as consultative selling. Now, in order for the strategy to work, your prospects have to believe that you are an expert at what they seek help with. In the online space, a lot of the consultative selling is done in the pre-sale stages through content. Remember when I touched on the map of your content? It's because the reason why you map it out in that manner is because you are getting your prospect into a pre-sale mode. You are pre-selling them into your offer. So you want to be intentional with the content that you create. The content you create will need to serve as a self-diagnosis machine. They need to be like, oh my gosh, okay, this is what I'm facing. Oh yeah, Momo just dropped this again. Oh my gosh, is she in my head? Oh my gosh, does she ever fly on the wall? How does she know this? It should speak to their problem and anguish. Lesson: somebody will sooner pay you to take their hands off a burning stove because they are tired of getting burned than anything else. So when you are creating content, you want to speak to the anguish. You want to speak to what is keeping them up at night. What is it that when they're going to bed or they are in the middle of the night and they just sleep has gone out of their eyes, they are tossing and turning? What it is that they will be thinking about? If it's a business, it's a new coach, for example, and they are struggling to get clients. A lot of times, what I have seen, let's say, for with coaches, they have prospects, but they can't close them, or they don't have enough prospects. These are usually the two big problems: not enough leads and not enough clients, not being able to close clients. Because I suffered from this, where you are unable to close clients. Let's say they come for a consultation and you are unable to get them to pay you. And with this, no matter even if you bring down your price to $1, people will not buy. So this thing will then start driving people in anguish. In the middle of the night, they'll be crying, they might be crying, they might be wondering, is this not for me? Maybe this is not for me, should I just throw in the towel? So when you create content, now you speak to that anguish, people recognize themselves. People go like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I'm going through. And the more now, because now when you have somebody like that, you are pointing to the problem, they become not only problem away, they now become solution away. They are looking for the solution. And with your content, you will pre-frame yourself into this being the solution so that they can purchase from you. This is consultative selling. So, in order for your prospect to see you as an expert and an authority, they have to feel understood, heard, and seen. So, this is key with the type of content that you want to create. You want to create content that makes your prospects feel understood, heard, and seen, so that they are able to now come towards you for help or assistance. So now, create content to attract your audience. The content should account for the prospect at different stages. I've covered that of the buyer awareness journey. By doing that, you place yourself in a position of authority in the eyes and you gain credibility. And remember the three keys to attraction, the three attraction keys, credibility is one of them. Do not be afraid to show up differently from everyone else in your industry. I show up as goofy, I show up as funny, I show up a lot of times in this group without makeup, I show up being authentically me. The reason why I do that is because I want my people to see me. So I try to be vulnerable, open up, showcase my history, show you that my journey was not perfect. I didn't reach here by being perfect. I think earlier today I shared a post where I said that when I started this group, I actually opened the group in November 2020, and I only started inviting people into the group around March, April this year, because I was so afraid that people would not want to be in my group, because I felt like, who am I to actually speak to people? So when I share these stories, it's not because I'm trying to garner self-pity to somebody that might be going through the same thing, because a lot of time our ideal clients are sometimes on the same journey as ourselves, but they're just a couple of steps behind us. And hearing these stories encourages them and then also now makes them not only like you, trust you, but they feel like you are like them. And when people feel that you are like them, it's easier for them to connect with you and eventually move that relationship in a direction that will be mutually beneficial for both of you. So you want to show up as authentic as you need to be. And as a leader, you will be authentic, you will be you will be vulnerable, you will open up because leadership requires people to invest in you just as much as you invest in them. So you want to show up as a leader and not a follower of your industry. So you want to speak up your point of views. You want to speak up your thoughts. You want to share your thoughts. And even if it doesn't abide by what people think it should. There are people out there that believe the same thing as you, but they don't have they feel that they can't speak. And by the time you are speaking, then they are attracted to you. Now, another content tip. Like I said before, less how to content and more thought provoking type of content. So some of the thought provoking type of content, what do they need to do A to achieve desired outcome? Mistakes they could be making now. The consequences of inaction. The symptoms of their problems. What is the direction they need to take to reach goals? Everybody says a but your take on the matter. These kind of contents, these six type of content will usually start attracting your audience because it is thought provoking. So, like I mentioned before, less how to, more thought provoking type of content. So, now let's move to one of my favorite things. This is one of the keys, yeah? Borrowing the authority. Borrowing the authority is essentially just collaborations. And when I was creating this masterclass, I kind of remembered something about my childhood. And this is why I gave this example. If you remember when you were the new kid in class or at school, I've been the new kid in class or at school as an introvert and as a shy kid. Whew, Lord, everybody's looking at you, but no one wants to befriend you too quickly. But this usually happens. People start befriending you when they see somebody else do it. And if it's one of the popular kids in school, you immediately become one of the popular kids by association. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me quickly inform you, we haven't really evolved from this. The rules of the school playground still apply to us as adults. We are just playing a different type of game. So we are still playing in the school playground, but different game, different outcomes, but it's still the same thing. One of the keys to grow your brand and become an authority is you want to collaborate with different people in your industry. Collaboration is a powerful tool to grow your influence and authority online. So, how do you borrow the authority? I am a huge proponent of collaborations because you grow by associations. Now, some of the ways you can do this is you get interviewed on podcasts, do joint ventures with other people in your sector, join collective giveaways. You'll notice that online there are a lot of collective giveaway. Join collective giveaway. This is a great way to grow your brand because you are associating with other people that have their own audiences, and by default, people see you at the same level as them. Get featured on an online magazine, guest blog for people in your space. These are some of the ways you can kind of quickly start gaining momentum with growing your brand. If you get on different podcasts, people that will listen to those podcast episodes will be like, oh my gosh, oh, I loved it. Not everybody, but some. Oh, I love this. I loved what she said, what she shared. Oh, a lot of times nowadays, what a lot of people will do, they'll go on Instagram to find you. Let me see if she's on Instagram or she's on YouTube or she has her own podcast, depending on where you are. Because some people will be featured on YouTube or some people will be featured. But a lot of times, people will go on Instagram. And once they go on Instagram and you have content that speaks to kind of like the same thing that you spoke on in that particular podcast, what people do, they press the follow button. They press the follow button. Now, they've come into your universe. So they just found out about you. Now they've come into your universe. Now, if you have a podcast, you have a YouTube channel, now you share about your YouTube channel on your Instagram. Now they get on your YouTube or they get on your podcast and start consuming even more content. So now you are indoctrinating them into your audience. They're being indoctrinated and they start liking you, they start developing a relationship with you, they feel that they know you, and they're like, oh my gosh, now I think I want to work with this person. This is the funnel. This is the system that a lot of people are using. This is how I'm actually giving you the entire process that I have done to grow not only my following, not only my group, but also to grow my influence to work with a number of people. Because I think earlier this month, when one of the biggest, I think I shared the message earlier in the presentation, one of the biggest coaching companies in Asia reached out to me to do a masterclass for them. I was like, oh my gosh, 25,000 people, oh my word. And some celebrities that are also coaches. And this is because I have been intentional about how I craft my brand and my authority online. And this is how I have done it. Creating content that speaks to my audience, getting on podcasts, joining ventures, doing collective giveaways, getting featured on magazine, guest blogging. These are the things that I have done personally to grow my influence. Now, one of the reasons this particularly works is because as humans, we are all into herd movement. The human race operates in a community. This is why we live in cities. Why in ancient times, banishing somebody from their land was a harsh punishment that often resulted in death for the person because we thrive on being connected. This is why a lot of launches work because when people see other people buy, we are influenced. So by collaborating with other people that are seen as leaders and authorities in your sector, in your industry, people immediately lend you that mentor. So people that follow that person, that appreciate the person, when they see you collaborate with this person, it's kind of like an endorsement from the person. Somebody getting you on their podcast is often like saying, okay, I acknowledge that this person is an expert in this matter. So people that are listening, it is subconscious. Immediately now they're like, oh my gosh, if so and so can acknowledge this person as an expert. That means they are an expert, and this is what I need. So let me go and find out more about this person. You will notice that this approach not only in the online space, but also in other spheres, political parties coalitions, political candidates endorsements, in influence brand collaborations. How many times have you bought a brand because you saw one of your favorite influencer post about it? You probably did not know about the brand, and then you decide like, oh my gosh, this looks nice. If this person is using it, then it must be something of great interest. So, collaborations is a powerful tool to grow your brand and your authority online. If big brands are doing it, well, you can definitely borrow the strategy from them because it works. And the final one is build a community. One thing that you will notice is that everybody that you respect or acknowledge as an authority, expert, as a community. The beehive for Beyonce. I don't even know what's Rihanna's one, but she has a strong community. Attack Rihanna online and you will see people come for you. Especially in Beyonce, the beehive, whew, those ones, they're real bees. Real bees, they will sting you. You will notice everybody, Kim Kardashian, Kylie, everybody, you'll see Kim Kardashian has a number of fans pages. Another way you actually, one of the most prominent way that I have seen this particular thing, and it's quite big, in Africa, the Big Brother Nigeria, Big Brother Niger, you will notice that once the people leave the Big Brother's house, you will find that their communities, their fans will actually create pages and raise money for their faves. In a country where a lot of people live below the poverty line, you need to understand the power of building a community with this. Some have bought their faves cars, some have rented house for their fave. They've made collected money together and gotten their fave houses. It's wild. For their birthday, some have raised thousands and thousands of dollars for their fave's birthday. Wild, really wild. But that is the reality of having a community because they will support what you do. So, a community of people that share the same point of view as you and to whom you exert a level of influence is a powerful tool. That is the currency of a brand. That is your currency as a brand, building a community. This is what a lot of times influencers trade. They get paid for the influence they have on the community. So building a community is important and paramount to you building an authoritative brand online. Now, how do you create a community? You either create a group on Facebook, IG, LinkedIn, Telegram, WhatsApp. Some people have WhatsApp. Define their identifying traits. You'll notice, for example, that if you join my community, the traits you always have in common are that you are either a course creator, a coach, a consultant, aspiring to be one, and your goal is to create a high impact, high ticket program that sells. If you ask yourself questions, you will actually be like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm looking for. And almost everyone that is part of this community, of my community, has those common traits. And this was intentional. Another thing you want to do is to show up in your community. People should get to know you. People should kind of feel like they understand you. They should feel like, oh my gosh, this is so and so, this is how she is. So show up authentically, you. Don't try to imitate anyone. Be you. People that are for you will be for you. Nobody views a copycat as an authority. So don't try to be a copycat. Be you. State your point of views. Show up as you. Be authentic. And that will not only help you build a community, but will also help you grow your brand as an authority. You need to start showing up as the leader that people want and need. This is very important. You want to show up like that. Now, let's quickly summarize before we take questions. Becoming an authority is about cultivating a strong brand online. It helps you gain visibility, which will eventually make it easier for you to grow your business. To grow your brand, you need to understand your audience and what your offer is. Please, this is very important. I wish I had written this in capital letters. This is all about attraction marketing. Therefore, one has to understand the 3 attraction factors that draw people in. For those that missed it, it was clarity, emotional investment, and credibility. Those are the 3 attraction factors that will draw your people in. As a business personal brand, it is important to avoid the pitfall of becoming an influencer. Keyword, avoid becoming an influencer. Craft a really clear match statement that speaks to your prospect's need. Create content that speaks to your audience and their problems. Collaborate to get ahead of the game. This is important, and this is one hack that will help you in the next 90 days. Try to get into as many collaboration as you can with people in your industry of similar or complementary industries. And finally, create and grow your community. Now, if you have any question, I'll be taking questions. If not, then put we will close it. Yeah, does anybody have any question for me? Anything that I covered today that you want me to touch on? No questions? All right, then. Thank you so much, guys, for showing up. I loved doing this. I hope this serves you. If you like to personally work with me, you can drop me an email at hello@wisdigitalacademy.online and we'll see how we can help your business. But at this point, since we have no questions, I'm going to close it here and I'm going to say good night, and hope this was absolutely great for you. As I mentioned before, there will not be any replay I ever done this pay. If you are part of my email list, you will get an email for the Black Friday sale, and the Become an Authority Online Masterclass is one of the bonuses that you get inside the Black Friday deal. And the Black Friday deal is something that you want to get. It's prospect to sales system, the prospect to sales system that we use within my company, and that can help you get find prospects quickly, organically, without spending a dime, and closing them. Because a lot of times what I have noticed is that people are struggling to close sales, and the Black Friday deal is we've taken a bit from Easy Sales Blueprint, a bit from the course creation accelerator, where I'm going to be putting in the course creator blueprint for you in there, and a ton and ton of resources that will be there, which will be your email subject line to get your emails open. I'm giving you a few templates and actual subject line that you can use to get more of your emails open. There's quite a few there. I'm giving you an actual the all the resources that you can use free, paid, cheap to create your course. Because this is one of the things that a lot of people are always asking me, where do I host my course? So the resources will be there. There's a ton of other resources that will be included in the Black Friday sale. And everybody that is on my email list, still outside of the Black Friday code, y'all will receive another code to kind of like rip me off further. So look out for those emails. So, and I really hope that you take advantage of that sale, because especially prospect to sales is what you need to start closing at least your first $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 online if you haven't made any money, and how you close those high ticket sales. Because there is a lesson in there on how you can actually close high ticket sales, and the framework that I used. Kanya used to be like, I can't close ticket sales. Well, she now does that with ease. So she can attest to that. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Wednesday is expert talk. You want to catch Kylie Lang? She'll be sharing on quiz funnels to automate lead generation for your business. Then next week we have another expert talk. So you want to show up for your expert talks, because those are also free coaching sessions that people will be giving you. So on this note, I'll leave you guys and hope you guys have a great evening, great day for those that are in the US, and see you guys around the group. Let me know, share a post. Let me know what you thought about the masterclass. I would love to hear what you guys thought. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.